Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program called Fiume. It's a financial planning tool. We've so far worked on kind of basic income streams or expense streams, and we're going to improve that and do some refactoring and work on making our graphs a little more decodable. All right, let's see. So we left off with the app is basically running. I mean, we have multiple scenarios. So we got a fixed level of expenses and then one spouse going on Social Security with three different possibilities, the other spouse with two more, which gives 3 times 2 is 6 total graphs. The names in the graphs, they're just UUIDs. They're not going to mean anything to anybody. We'd like them to reflect what's going on in here, at least to some level. So that's on our list. The other thing is, at one point we were painting these yellow, red or green if they were positive or negative. We do have the little logo there, the icon, but I'd like to make something be either income or expenses explicitly, and also deal with not having to say it's negative there. So a little bit of work. And let's see. Oh, the other one is we originally were doing graphs out of the possibilities, which was kind of the overall plan tree. And we had to make a compromise. Should we add? Should we take the max, the min, the average when we were looking at these scenarios? And we don't do that anymore. We just graph them all. So we want to get rid of that code. I think that's a good start. All right. Yeah. Remove net from PlanTree. Oh, and I've lost my chat window. Hang on. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see. PlanTree. Oh, I did do one thing offline. We had the scenarios for Antry was up in the parent, and we just defaulted it still being there. And or tree had its own scenarios. I moved that down. I was doing the explanation. I do a weekly summary, and it just didn't make sense to explain it as being in the parent tree. So now we have a parent that just throws an assertion error if there's if it's ever called by itself. It should be an and tree, an or tree, or an or tree. Okay, and then somewhere in here is net. Let's see who uses that. All right, only PlanTree. Okay, so let's remove it from the protocol. And that should be okay if nobody's using it. Well, okay, it's only being used inside. All right, so let's take out this net function here. This is in plan composite. Anybody else complaining? Plan composite has to type net. Okay, so we're going to take the test out. And the test here. Good. Okay, so we'll remove net from PlanTree and its children. Okay, that's good, but there's still some more going on. Let's see. So our children, the only reason we had this combining operator was because we needed it for that. So let's get rid of that. There's only 2 of them. I'm just going to do it. we could add an optional parameter and then delete it, but it's just not worth it. Now this almost feels like I should remove that too. Combining operator. And I don't know if I can make this internal because really nobody's calling it. Okay. Combining operator from plan composite and children. All right. And then that leaves me thinking, I think the composite class is okay. I mean, it holds the children, it refers to them, it handles the append. The only thing it doesn't do is scenarios. But I think these we should be able to get rid of. So I think if I find these, and just make an entry. Really, that was the only one? That doesn't seem possible. Since we have to build them from the UI at some point, I'm a little skeptical. Build succeeded. That seems very odd. Maybe they already did? No callers. I don't believe that. Let me do a clean build. Yeah, okay. That's a little more plausible. Right, there's one. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these two. Minus entry or tree. Okay. That's fine. That's okay here. That's got the helper doing the job. Yeah. All right. Okay, this feels better to me anyway. Okay. Color streams based on their flow. I think let's go to that one next. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think we're likely to do that today. Okay. So color streams based on their flow. I'd be far better off if I remembered how these fit together. Content view, group plan, list view, stream view. Okay, yeah, so we're already printing out that plus or minus, but I think we want, well, we want to look at that same thing. Let's get it, and then we'll improve it. Okay, so if it's non-negative, it's green, otherwise it's red. I guess we could even trust a preview for that. Well, slightly. It's only got one stream in it, but it should be green. Well, that's tricky because each graph gets its own color. And we have some control of that, but and I would like to make let's go back to the it's not running. I mean, I would like to have the zones, if it goes negative, have it be red, and positive green. But with so many graphs going at the same time, I can't really put the area underneath it. Like if it was just one graph and it showed us, hey, we're digging into our savings for 10 years and then Social Security kicks in and eventually we're green and we stay green. You know, I would love that kind of thing. And maybe you need that in if you only have one scenario. But with multiple scenarios, I can't put different areas underneath them. I do somewhere. I have a page of ideas of like, here's things we can do for that graph, you know. So we will come to that more deeply. All right, but it is showing green, and I'll just amuse myself and make sure if I change it to this, it's red. Okay, the color is just horrendous though, but the concept is there, so that's good. But really, the thing to do is this belongs in our asset catalog, and let's see if I can remember how to do this. Yeah, color set. And these are, I don't know, stream colors. And then we need to add. Oh, I thought we got. I thought I could just add a color. Oh, so maybe this is income. Can't you let me select something? Color panel. Thank you. All right, I want a very light green. I don't know how I get that the best way. Wow. CCFFCC, that sounds good. Okay. And then we'll add another one. I'm not going to define dark mode yet. Out, go. And this one should be a very, very light pink, red. I don't know, it could be that one. Not sure how I scroll these. Okay. I think my touchpad's getting low on power here. Do I drag this? No. That might be better. Oh, can I arrow? No. Can you come up with a more annoying scheme for me? That works. Okay. Maybe I just can't go light enough. Okay, FF99CC. Okay. This one was CCFFCC. Let's try CC. Yeah, it might be equally light. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Right. Let's fix that. So income out go. Here, and I believe it's just color with income. Oh yeah, that's definitely nicer. Okay. Well, probably didn't really need to run tests. We haven't touched any test code. Or any code we're testing, I should say. All right, so make income streams green, outgo streams pink. Okay, now enter stream as income or expense. Yeah, so I think this is, well, let's see, where is that view going to be? Add plan. Create stream view. Okay. So, all right. So this amount, well, what I'm really thinking is I want you to be able to just click a button, maybe a radio button, and say income or expense. Maybe I should use expense instead of outgo. I think they're close enough. Okay. So, I don't know. I don't remember how you get a radio button. It's just picker of some sort. Well, your ad is playing, right? Okay. Radio button and button label. Radio put group. Yeah, I don't. This looks like more than I should have to do. I don't really need a radio button per se. Yeah, picker. That's more like it. Um, um, private bar is income. Well, which is more likely? Maybe it's true. Okay, so dollar is income. I don't know if this is type. Tag. Can I just use is income true? I don't know if I can do this way. Toggle, yeah. Yeah, I could use that. Let's put them both up there. Oh, these are both on. Ooh. Okay. Let's let it pick the style. Now, do we have canvas? Does that mean I don't have a preview on this one? Sure enough. Okay. Doesn't have multiple labels. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the picker will be okay. I don't know. By this slow startup. All right, so we'll add a stream income. Oh. No, that's not good. Type income or expense. That's tolerable. I wish it were over here. Yeah, I think of the two, I think we've got to have a label to say which it is. And then did I just delete the one I wanted to keep? Sure enough. I don't know what my options are there. Yeah, that would be kind of annoying. Um, no, I think that'll work. Now the question to me is, what if they? I want to ban them from typing negative numbers. That's faster. That's more like it. Okay. Income. Expense. Because I can do this now. And I don't want that. All right. So there's validation to do. Let's see. So I think there's a way to get a keyboard for an input field. Yeah, I can. I mean, I can definitely do abs and just not make it an issue for them. But in a way, if they say minus 300, they're probably trying to tell me it's an expense. Now, I don't know if there's enough. I don't remember what we have. Number pad is going to have negatives still. I mean, one thing I could do is, like, it wouldn't be bad to put a little red text under here that says, like, negative income not allowed, make it a positive expense or something. Or, yeah, switch it. Seen new value. Yeah, I'm not sure when I get control as they're entering things. That mostly happens independently. Is income. On change. On change of equatable initial bool. This is the one that's gone. Of amount, do this. Okay. So I want to say if amount How do we do that? Dot one. Oh, did that? Yeah, that might be better. Whoops. Okay, but still, we're not going to mess with it. Yeah, will set. I think I can do this. If amount is less than 0, is income equals false. Oh, I guess I can just do that. I don't need abs. It's a let. Oh, is will set what I need? Ugh, I don't know what it does, even at the minus sign. Validation's oddly painful, isn't it? Okay, so will set. Do I get access to it before and after? Runs code right before the property changes. I get access to it too somehow, right? Old value, new value. Okay. Incoming value has a new value. I don't know if I can assign it. Immutable. I don't think so. Yeah, you just have the new value. Old value to new value. We couldn't change it, so oh, well, I mean, I can enforce my message. without giving them much help. Right. Use new value and assign amount to new value or negative new. I don't know. I thought that's what I tried. Let's try that. Is that not what I tried? Yeah, new value is immutable. Am I doing what you think we should do? Use amount, use new value. And it seems like he doesn't like assignment to that. And there wouldn't be any point to assigning to the old value. Yeah, I don't know that that's going to work. I'll keep on this and then zap that if I need to. Dot foreground. Oh, come on. That one drives me nuts. Visibility. I could have sworn there's a hide. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. Yeah, I've done that before, I guess, but that's what I really wish was in there. Yeah. Opacity does not change. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, let's try it. New value is the amount equals new value? Like that? Well, I guess I shouldn't be doing both these. I guess that one won't happen, so let's try it. Cannot assign values of let constant. Okay, I'm not seeing it. New value is the incoming amount. This is the same as old values, so I don't see that working. It's not just by set his new value. Did set his old value. Oh, that's true. You're right. But I need to, well, let amount is old value, right? So this should be old amount. Where are you not doing your job? Okay, let's try that. Oh, but I still need to use new value, right? Well, that my message works. Okay, but this did not. Value of type int question mark must be unwrapped to a value of type int. Try that. Okay, so get the new value. I don't know. It doesn't look like that would do it, but maybe my model is wrong. Okay, if this thing works, then the message should be not allowed to happen, I think, right? I don't know if a minus sign causes a problem. -3, tab. No, I don't think it's triggering. Because, well, I'll tell you my theory. I'm not sure what really happens, but I sort of feel like what happens after a will set is it sets amount to the new value regardless of what I did here. So I don't think that's going to do it. Okay, but maybe I should try it again. Change value with will set Swift. Passes at a constant. Well, let's switch it to did set and see if we can do something with it. Did set guardlet. Okay, new amount equals amount. So now I think we'd be changing it after it's set if it works. I don't know if I quite believe it. Notice it doesn't have an error till I put this in. And I don't know if it calls did set until I transfer fields, tab or something. But I don't think we're getting it. Maybe I should do this change with did set. Did set. Okay. No. Nope. Okay. I think I'm going to let this one go and live with the error message. A little clunky. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a place. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid. State var doesn't get its value till you press. Oh, you think like the create here? I don't know when that gets assigned. I mean, obviously it knows it's negative at this point. If I change to expense, I still have to take this. What? Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Create stream view, sorry. I think it should be inside the view, yeah, because I mean this is not after you hit create, it doesn't even exist anymore. So yeah, it's got to be field to field. Now whether it triggers, well, no, we can see, right? Because if I type -2, it triggers right away. So we know it's keep every time every change it's enforcing the rule. So yeah, there's no relationship to create per se. I mean, I don't know that I could have bet money beforehand, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing now. All right. Now, the other thing we could do, and I don't know if number field does this. Dot background. I'm not sure if that's helpful or not. I mean, I would change it to pink if it were expense. The maybe give it some padding too. I'm paying for not having a preview here, aren't I? Yeah, I'm not sure why did set will set didn't seem to do it, except, it kind of it sets up a weird thing because if I change the amount, right? Well, that's a change. Should it trigger did set and will set? It's got this recursive thing to worry about. I don't know if that's the reason it's treated as read only, or if there's just some combination that I didn't quite hit. But I think I tried the ones I thought might work. Okay, well, that's a little better. Income. And if I change this to expense, this should go the other way. So let's is income. Maybe I should just say change type if needed. Oh, I don't know. I mean, state variables are already tying into that mechanism too, right? They Yeah, even if it worked in a normal variable, it might not work there because I think they're using did set and will set to detect their changes and stuff. So let's see, amount may not be negative. Choose correct type. Operator should be. Choose correct type instead. Yeah, I guess. Where are you complaining? It would have been a little handy, wouldn't it? Hmm. Okay, I think that'll be good enough. I think between the color and the warning, I think the right thing will happen. In a better world, we might have been able to do something. But even there, if you silently delete negatives and flip it to expenses, that might be a little shocking too. I don't know. But I think we'll call this good for now. Now I don't know if that's getting. All right, so we'll commit this. When you enter, well, color the amount field based on income or expense. Oh, yeah, that's all good and fine. Error message if negative, but we have to enforce it. Yeah, I think it would be nice in some way if you could do it, but maybe, I mean, I don't know. It all adds together, right? If we remove the sign and flip the type to the expense type, but if they were already an expense, like we would just flip the sign and not say anything. Okay, I don't know. All right, but now create is it's creating the amount they said, but the expenses are no longer negative. So we need to adjust that. And I don't know. That's getting yeah, I'm not sure. If there's no amount, it's a zero. Yeah, yes, that's true too. Um, let's make that happen. Um, dot disabled when amount not equal nil and amount less than zero. No. Yeah. Okay, so we'll disable the button if there is an amount. Sorry, if the amount is not nil. If it is nil, we don't disable the button. If the amount is less than zero, we will disable. Okay, that sounds right. Because we don't want them ignoring the message for sure. Okay, so this is -3. Right. Take away the minus, and it's there. Good. I like that idea. All right, and then this empty amount is a problem. I don't know. I'm gonna pull the function out, but then we should be like, um, right. Let's extract a method. Created amount. Okay. And this was that. Okay. Funny. We'll probably complain about that. Whoops. Yeah, implicit return violation. It doesn't do the code at once. Okay, but SwiftLint's not Swift or not Xcode. All right, so if let's say guard let amount equals amount, else return zero. Okay, so now we've taken care of that. And if is income well, I think the situation I'm thinking of is the panes of glass stuff, which we don't fully implement on money or start date, but we should. And so if you, let's say you said your income, and then now you're going to put in something that says, what if I die at 72? And it's not going to change the amount of the income, but it is going to change the termination date. So you should really be empty at that point. But I think the deeper concept of am I changing it or what am I doing to it is we haven't brought that out very much yet. Okay, but I think in that case you would want to, if all you're trying to do is change the end date, you just want to leave it alone. So yeah, it's a little weird. I'm not sure that fully comes out, but I think we'll make it come out more. Okay. I don't know. Let sign equal is income goes to 1 else minus 1 and return sign times amount. All right. And I'm going to make it just return amount. I never demonstrated that we'll have a problem. But that's quickly done. Let's make an expense of $3,000 a month. And it's going positive. All right, so yeah. Good. Okay. Now that could be better. That's stream view. That's a little more breathing space. Function parameters should be vertically aligned if there are multiple methods in a method call. I like things about SwiftLint, but oh, there's sometimes it just doesn't seem to keep track of when you've fixed an error. It should just stop talking about it. All right, but it seems happy enough now. Okay. All right. So what have we got? Well, we enforce enforce amount greater than 0 to create an entry, and we set value negative for expenses. So you think you'd like come on, got to type on the keys, not the back of the board. Stretch this one out. Yeah, I could see that. That's on stream view. I'll just put a spacer. Yeah. I don't have a way to get that white space with this, I don't think. You might be able to do it somewhere else. I'm not sure I want to, but because that's coming from the tree stuff. I think that we'll let that go for now. It might be better in the long run to make it solid one color or another. All right. And our to-do inner stream is income or expenses. Yes. Now, oh, validate new stream. This is stuff that's maybe on this. Sort of the same thing we just did, right? It was an error to be negative, but it's also kind of an error to do what I just did and not create a name to the stream. Yeah, I think that's an error. All right, so create stream view. It's disabled if, well, I'll say not valid. All right. Hey, welcome or welcome back. All right. So let me catch you up where we are, what we're doing. I'm making a tool that's sort of for people planning their finances a few years out. Like I'm approaching stopping work, and at some point in the next 5, 10 years, I'll be fully retired, say, and I want to think about, what happens when I stop working, what happens when I take Social Security, and all that stuff. So we have something lately we've been working to improve validation on this, but the big thing is you can add scenarios like Social Security. And in there, it's a bunch of options, so I can add to it. What if I take it at 67? Maybe I get 1,500 a month. And if I take it at 70, maybe I get 2,200 a month. All right. So, well, whoops, I should have changed that. But anyway, you can see, like, I get more money if I take it at this age. But I should have said you started 3 years later here. But at any rate, this this specification down here can generate many scenarios. So that's Social Security. But I could have a spouse and have 3 more scenarios for them, and then I'd have 6 graphs going. So every combination of these things generates a new graph. Now, at some point, that gets to be too much, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're not worrying about the graph too much yet. We're trying to get these pieces in, and in particular, let's see. The thing I wanted to do, yeah, validating new stream names. So I entered this one with no stream name, that's not very good. So we're going to enforce on that. So create stream valid. If the amount is not nil and it's less than 0, we know that's a problem. So yeah, well, yeah, but how long you got to enjoy it if you retire at 120, right? Okay. So name, all right. And this is name greater than, name not length greater than 0. So if name not length equals 0, return false. Okay. Well, I should say name not is empty, right? Name is empty, return false. Okay. And then in the name field itself, I'm going to make this an H stack Not quite sure where the H stack should be. Maybe it should be in here. B stack. No, that's too ugly. I'm still messing this up. Do we need a name to be unique? You don't. Because it's the same thing, the panes of glass thing. You can define a name to be something and then come in later and define attributes on it. The the streams are identifiable though, so we can keep track of them in our tree. But yeah, in here they should not be required to be. The only exception is when we create scenarios, I think we're going to put names on these scenarios. So I think maybe our scenario definitions will need to be unique. And that's going to be kind of a pain because it's not state in the field we're creating, it's state across all of them. So that's kind of fraught. All right, let's see how this looks. All right. Name is required. Yeah. Okay. And if I don't have it, create button's not there. Okay. Yes, we did. Right. And yeah, switching to the UUID was a good thing to do because of that reason. It's sort of the same problem with the graphs. You know, if I didn't put the UUID in there, they would all have the same name and they'd all compress to the same color and be even more useless to try and interpret. Okay, so I don't know if I want to validate. Well, we did that. Oh, no. Let's see what happens if I. Oh. Huh. What is the value at that point? 0. So it's nil. Hmm. So what is it? Actually, it's a numeric field. So if I do FFF, tab away, come back. Did you, hmm. So, yeah, that's true. I don't know what I bumped. Okay. 3 ABC. Huh. Well, how do I check? Oh, this is weird. Hmm. Yeah, that's funky. All right, we did this. let's let's record that. Number is valid. I don't want to do these two yet. I think we got more stuff to worry about on them. Okay. So validate the number is valid. I'm kind of at a loss because that field is an int question mark, right? So that means somewhere the whatever the form mechanism or the text field is maintaining that text. Is it a text field? Number field. Well, number field I think was mine, right? Value format dot number keypad type decimal pad. That may help them out a bit. Well, like what are you going to call is number on? Yeah, it's weird. Well, I mean, it's weird in a way. I mean, I don't blame the text field for maintaining the numbers or the information you gave it, but maybe there's a way to enforce this. Um, I think there's a better way to do stuff. Takes a dozen lines of code. Like that's too much. Yeah, and they can still paste into it and all that. Okay. On receive. Huh. Now, if this thing lets you change it, yeah, you keep the value as a string all the way down. Um, so this solution is just filtering them out. Oh, he's using a string. Interesting. Okay. And using it combine, which sort of is going away. Leads to a cycling property because it changes the observed value. Formatter parameter. Okay, so we're going to have to figure out formatter. Format number. Didn't I say that? Yes. So it doesn't enforce it. That's just really weird. Okay, let's go look at text field. Bind the text to a non-string type. Byte count, date, number formatter. Set default formatter behavior. I don't think that's helping. Number style. Well, this is on formatter? Well, the easy thing for me to do, yeah, we could do that. But if it's not a string, right, what are we going to do? Are we going to let them say 1, 2, 3, ABC? I think maybe we shouldn't. Like I think we'd be better off if our validation said that's not a valid number. Now, the other thing on my mind, we haven't dealt with the fact that we're dealing with currency. And so amount actually has amount $, which hard codes the currency symbol in there, which is not right either. I don't think it's our biggest problem, but it's kind of a problem. I think I'm gonna say if it's not strictly numeric, then require them to change it. Again, probably. I mean, I can imagine a world where you wouldn't be allowed to type in ABC, but it doesn't look like it's an easy thing to get because they could paste and they could do other, weird things to get it there. All right, values amount. Yeah, character set in. That's the way I would know. Now, oh, I tossed that one example, right? Yeah, but like in, I mean, like when you write euros, you write seven with the little e thing after it. So it's got to be after for some languages or some cultures and before for others. Um, yeah, this is the kind of thing I'm thinking of. um, is number. Now the other one. Hmm. So the approach that guy was saying, the other one was saying, was make this a string, but then it's not a number field, right? Well, yeah, it's not a number field. Um, I don't know. Where am I putting on change? Is that on change? I don't know. In a way, maybe I'm not going to worry about it for now. Um, I'm gonna hold off that. I think I think it does its sort of default thing, which is take the prefix and use that. Yeah. Um, I don't say we'll never come back to it, but I think I want to do something else. All right. The thing I'm really feeling is this start date, end date. Everything so far today has been, we did some straight refactoring, we did some relatively simple validation and some kind of making it nicer colors. But this one is really dealing with the functionality that I care about. So I want to make that more of the focus. So it's time for a break anyway. So let's take 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, and we'll come back and start making this notion of editing things and the panes of glass thing come through a little more. So back in 3 or 4 minutes. Welcome back. All right. So uh, yeah, we may have to adding filtering non-numeric characters to the formatter in the number field, which is a wrapped up text field. Yeah, um, that could well be it. Even there, like I think if we pass in a variable, we could still have our own view with its own variable in it that was string, and then when it changed, we would write it back to the numeric. But I'm gonna hold off. Okay, so the the thing I want to do is right now, well, two things. One is like we have these start months. It's really inconvenient to try and figure out what month something applies to. It's not so bad for like things in the next 12 months. I think I can figure it out. And I remember that 5 years is 60 months and I add 60 to plus this to do that. It's like that's kind of crazy. What I really expect to be able to do is I'd like to be able to say a particular year or month and year, I guess more accurately, a month and year. I'd like to be able to say it's unspecified. I don't want to override any value for this, which we do now with nil versus not nil. I'd also I'd also like to be able to do this in terms of ages. So I'd like to say I was born in June of 1970 and Social Security kicks in when I'm 62. I don't want to do the math and say, well, is that 2032 or 2042 or 2022, whatever it is. I don't want to have to think about that stuff. So yeah, I might need a date picker for one version, a year age, an age ticker for another, and the nil, the non don't override for another one. And I thought I had another one too. Well, this is in my mind of things we could do in the future, but I could see something where you kind of created a variable and say retirement equals 62, or maybe stopping work equals 62. And so I could kind of separately say I'm stopping work versus I'm collecting Social Security. So if you're stopping work, you stop your salary, but you might want to play with that age and make up different values for that. So I could see that being a separate one that you're just changing this. Yeah, we at some point we got to create the people. Excuse me, and maybe that should be our next one because that's more different. The other one, the third thing that's there is the notion of a pool, which is a pile of money, like your 401k or something, your retirement savings you have. If if you're those I think are very simple. It's just like you've got a pile of money. If you start drawing from it, then that goes down. If you have income from interest or whatever, it goes up. But it's not super. I don't see it as super tricky relative to everything else. It's just kind of this pool of money that adds to your net worth or expenses that subtract from it, liabilities that subtract. Okay. But for them, well, the other one I wonder about is like deltas. So if if something kicked in at 67, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is useful, but 3 years from now, something's going to happen. It's not that I care that you're exactly 62 or 67 or 92 or whatever. It's just whatever it is, 3 year plus 3 years. So I don't think we've demonstrated the need for that one, but it's on my mind that it could happen. I think it could happen for the salary too. You could say, well, let's assume I have a raise coming in such and such time period, and I'm going to raise the amount at that point. I don't know. That's all a little complicated. Okay, but for sure, nothing. I'm not overriding the previous value. I'm setting it based on a date, or I'm setting it based on a person, where we don't have person yet, but I just want to make a structure that allows for that because that's the next major area we want to get into. Okay. And so what I want to do is take this and make it a a selector of some sort, of view, that contains a selector. So let's pull that out first. Now, start month and end month, they're slightly different, but maybe they don't have to be treated that way. All right, so let's see the create stream view. Yeah, start month, end month. Oh, we do have optional there. Interesting. Okay. And then what we're creating is a stream. I think it's stream that doesn't have yeah, stream is not optional on that. Okay. So there's some disconnect there on the panes of glass thing. We can't ignore or not override these two fields because they require a value. So that'll come out too. But in any case, I think we have this number field. Let's pull these out into a a date selector. Is that the phrase you had? Date picker. Oh, date picker is the real thing, an actual date picker, but maybe it's a date specifier. Date specifier view, I think, even. All right, so, well, let's just extract it here for now. Now, I don't know when and how to get off using month numbers. Maybe this view can do that. Yeah, both of them need a selector. And this has var body. That's some view. Okay. And for now, well, he needs a binding to int for now. Month of int question mark. Okay, and then this. Okay, I think that's okay. All right, so date specifier view. Oh, month. All right, so this should be neutral. Yeah, what do I know? Accessible. Okay. Okay. And let's pull this out. Result of initializer. Oh, return. Something's still wrong. Okay, good enough. All right. All right. So let's see. We've got to work out an order to get things right here. So this is accepting of int question marks. And we have an interpretation. And now I don't know if we want to keep that interpretation, but I think what's emerging is this notion of a specified date. And I want to switch to that. But when we create it, right, we're just taking, we force a date, default it to 1, but start month, yeah, may not be set. But going into stream, it must be set because we defined it that it takes a required month, start month, as opposed to end month, which we allow the optional thing. All right, so let's see where to start. Well, somewhere there's a notion that's like, it's really one of these enums. It's saying I'm either unspecified or I'm a month, and then it could be, or I'm a person's age. Okay, and so those cases kind of belong somewhere. Now, where that is, I think it's just a standalone thing. So what I want to do is I want to create that thing as sort of a little data bag to hold this information, and I want to get the view using it, and then I want to change the stream to use it. Okay, so instead of taking ints, he's going to take whatever this thing is. All right, so let's introduce that. This, I suppose it's a, well, maybe this is the date specifier. It's almost like a dependent date, but date specifier might be okay. That leaves us open. We can have a value specifier if we need that concept more, which we might need that as well. Okay, so we'll start with date specifier as the name. Okay, and these are the things. Well, this is an enum. One case is unspecified, and the other case is, well, for now, month. But I think this is what's going to let us switch. Okay, so this is kind of like, well, it's sort of like how optional is implemented, right? I mean, you get a case that's nothing representing nil, and you get a case that's a value holding something. And I know in Haskell it's like nothing or just X, right? But this is the date specifier. Good. Okay, so that's, well, there's no harm. We just create a class nobody's referencing, so, okay. Now, I think I'm trying to figure out if it's easier to change stream or create stream view first. And I think I would like create stream to take one of these new things. Well, no, that's the one that makes everything crazy. If they take ints and we have to get to it from an int. All right. Well, I think it's a temporary function, so I'm just going to do it. Func as optional int returns int and then switch self case unspecified case month number. Okay, return nil. Return month number. But okay, this is scaffolding as far as I'm concerned, but it's going to let us get this thing in use. Okay, now okay, so what I want to do is change this to our new thing. All right, let's start with this one. Date specifier. Somebody should be complaining because end month is not a thing anybody understands. There we go. All right, so now date specifier view. Sorry about that. Well, I guess we're going to change both these. Date specifier view, create stream. They got to change together. They're the same, intended to be the same thing. Okay, so now both those should be complaining. And date specifier view should take a date specifier object, and I think you should have a state for the can we do that? Right. We still need place for the month value to be held. Yes. At least for now. I think maybe this is where on change is going to come. But on change, okay, of month. On change of month. I don't think we needed the initial value. Ugh. Equatable goes to void. I think that's old, new, in. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to do if new is nil, we're gonna change date spec dot is it dollar? Sorry, let me just check. Okay. Dollar date spec is immutable, cannot assign value. Oh, something's. How do you do this? Is that? Okay. Otherwise, okay, I think that's what I want. New value first. Oh, okay, thank you. Maybe I should look it up just to be very safe. Now these are saying use initial. Maybe I don't have to specify initial. Old value, new value. Okay. Not intuitive. I think they got rid of the new one. The one argument one. Okay, so is this going to do it? So when you change month, I'm going to update date spec to one of these fixed values. All right. And so your binding to date spec should reflect whatever month is. And this is what tells me I can change this to a string at some point if we want to do the other way. I agree, it's strange, and the transition from old to new is very bizarre with that too, but yeah. Because didn't they used to give you just the new value was the one that got deprecated? So yeah. All right. But maybe I'll remember next time. Old, new. On change, old, new. Okay. But at any rate, I think now you're changing the date spec when the thing changes. This is not right. Oh, this should be date spec of month 3. Still not right. Somebody's still not happy. Right, so this is where I want to make as optional int, and this is as optional int. Otherwise, if it's nil, it's 1. Okay, that's why it's glue code for now. All right. So, well, create stream view, inaccessible. Create stream view plan. What? Start month, end month. Create stream view initializer. Why is that private? Missing argument for parameters. Start month. But they're not supposed to be parameters. Oh. Yeah. They were nil before. Make sure that's true. Into question marks, so they were optional. Gets defaulted to nil. Okay, so yes. All right, let's touch this while we're. Okay, so what should happen is we should get a valid stream if we specify things. Salary 166.66. Start month 10, end month 32, 302. Okay. And let's add another one with some nils in there. And they should run forever. Well, I guess they are, because that line bends now. Okay. Yeah, so I think we've done it. We've moved over to date specifier in our view side. And then to pass to the stream, we have to do some manipulation because it still wants int or int question mark. And that's the thing to do next is move into the implementation side and fix it from there. Okay, so this, let's just run tests. As of right now, only streams use this capability, the month notion, so we're okay with that. All right. So I'm going to close the view. And that view. Okay, I guess we'll have to open it again eventually, but let's get to stream. Okay, so now stream. Well, let's start with last because that's the closest to what we want to do for real. As of right now, we only have unspecified and month. So month number, wherever we use month number is going to come out of that. Change those to use structs contain both the specifier and value. I don't think so. I think last should become date specifier, because that's a domain notion to me. This notion of values that you can override is definitely a domain thing. So I'm okay to make that part of stream. All right, now I don't know what'll happen. I don't know what'll happen here. Mostly I'm going to chase out consequences. Okay, so if I do this, and then this is date specifier, it can't be nil. But it can be date specifier dot unspecified. That seems a little awkward for a name, but I don't want to say none, because it's not really none. It really is, kind of a flow through or something. Maybe we can find a better name on those lines. All right, now I broke my view code that I just closed. All right. Stream view. Right. Not stream. Well, that's broken too, isn't it? All right. Where's stream? I'll create this one. All right. So now I want to get rid of this end optional as optional int. Okay. And I want this to be one of those real ones. And then stream view. Can I do that? Cannot convert value of date specifier to expected type month number question mark. That sounds like he's not caught up to things. Now it's the format thing. Well, let's define format month to take a date specifier. Okay, and now we do switch. Okay, so I'm doing this one the way I want to do it in the long run, so that's okay. The other one will become dead code shortly. All right, so this one, okay, old message. Okay, now stream. Well, that's, I don't know who's going to break if I don't require this to exist. Oh, Tukes, good to see you back. Yeah, back to Swift. Enough assembly language. All right. Let's see. Well, I'm not running at the moment, so I'm not going to show you, but I'm doing an app to kind of a financial planning one to look forward a few years out, like when you're ready for retirement, or I don't know, maybe you're getting kids or something, but whatever big event. And I want to specify combinations of things so I can evaluate, should I take Social Security at 62 or 67 or 70? And what about my wife and all that kind of stuff? And, well, it's going to be an iPad app. My one prospective user is an iPad user, and I have an iPad, so that's where I'm going. We were originally going to do it on Mac, and there's some UI components that I just was too lazy to work around. Okay, what we're doing now is we're trying to move. We have the notion of a month number that you're doing for a range of things, and originally it was month number was optional, and now I'm trying to make it into more of a date specifier that really covers the two cases of a nil or a month number, but it's going to grow as we add more features. So we'll see how that goes. So unfortunately, a lot of things we're relying on this format. Okay, now month. Okay, so we want to find anybody who does last. If last is not nil and month later than last. Okay, and I'm going to mechanically do things. So if the last is not nil is really the same as if last is not unspecified. Well, how's that best? I think this is going to be another switch. Switch last. Unspecified month with let month. Last month. It probably is. Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know if it's static per se, but it's definitely a routine on this thing. So if we believe this is sort of generic enough, then we can put it over there. Okay, so if the last is nil, if it's not nil, and I'm going to trace these things. Kind of don't like. Well, if last is nil, we're not going to do that if statement. We're just going to return self.monthly amount. Okay. Yeah, so if we have an existing monthly amount and then an unspecified one over top of it, we do these kind of layers. The unspecified one is going to let the other one show through. So that makes sense to me. All right. Now if it's a month, if the month is greater than last, month is greater than last month, then we're going to return money 0. Else this. Okay. So cannot force unwrap. Yeah, this goes away. Well, I'm going to leave it like this because this changes lots of places. Hopefully not further downstream, but it does in a bunch of places here. So I'm going to replace them and then we'll decide. Okay, new last is if other last is nil. Okay, then self.last, otherwise other.last. Well, that's kind of the same. All right, if the new last. All right. Let's switch on other dot last. Other last. Okay. So if other dot last is nil, we're gonna assign it. Okay. If other dot last is nil, we're gonna take self dot last. Otherwise, if other dot last is not nil, then we're going to take other dot last. That looks wrong. um, only So merge, well, merge is trying to, is that somehow last but renamed? Um, Same question for other month. Well, that is funny. If it, other month, yeah, other month is should be the value. I think other month is what it's trying to get, but the problem is last needs a new last operator. Okay, so I think if 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 the other is unspecified, we're going to return the current last as the total object because nothing got changed there. But if the other one is specifies a month, and I don't know, newer might be a better name. Yeah, I'm going to call it newer. Okay. Um, all right. So new last equals other last. If it's other last is nil, then we're going to return self dot last. This is a little weird because this works because we only merge one field right now, but really the same thing's going to kind of have to happen for first and then probably the value too. So, ugh. Okay. Let's see. So if it's nil, it's other dot last, but that's not right. Well, this is now newer. Let me. If newer last is nil, meaning it doesn't specify anything, then we're just going to take the one in self dot last. Sorry, if it's nil, we take self dot list. If it's not nil, we're going to take newer dot last. Well, this will stand okay for now, but I think in the long run it's not right. Okay. Now, date specifier conform to equatable equals cannot be synthesized for nums with state value. Why not a web app? I'm just not into web apps at this point. I know you've suggested it before. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. I'm learning enough, retooling myself into Swift over the last couple of years, and I'm just not willing to fight JavaScript for another round. Yeah, that's probably more or less what it comes to. Okay, so now equatable. I'm surprised it can't be equatable. Yeah, I mean there are sort of ways. um, okay, so two streams are equatable. Why do I have them? If I take this out, who complains? I bet it's tests. Cannot force value of well, okay, yeah, that's something too. But it's not complaining about other domain files. So my guess is it's tests that want to test these things for equality just for kind of convenience. Now we can add that, but I think let's see what this one's problem is. Okay, debug descriptions. Right, last string is self.last equals unspecified. Let's just say question mark. Otherwise, well, this is something we can put on data specifier. I'm just going to go to switch. You do a lot of switches when you do enums. Okay, if you haven't said anything, I'm going to say question mark. If you have, slash month number. Okay. Yeah, fight the App Store and yeah, I don't know. It's probably true. Yeah, all intended targets. Yeah. Okay, cannot find date specifier. Switch self. Okay. All right. So now this is last. I think that'll work. All right. Let's do this again in a build. All right, it builds, but I think it's going to complain when I have tests. Yeah. Well, these are. What should I do? I think. Yeah, right. So I think it's maybe time to deal with a date specifier as a testing entity. Okay, so a date specifier, we don't want this. Okay, so let's see, we had problems. Well, this, I do want date specifiers to be equatable so I can do this. So let's, let's add the equatable here. It's for testing purposes. I don't think we need it in real life. And so I'm going to make the extension, but make it in the test area. Okay, he should volunteer. Stubs. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, why isn't he? Is a puzzle to me. I thought Enum's got it for practically free. Okay, but it's not hard. Okay, so let's test equatable. Well, let's check unspecified should equal unspecified. And I'll just do all the combinations right here, because I just don't think this is hard enough to be interesting, really. Oh, assert equal, assert not equal. Okay, this should fail. Well, can I run this by itself? Build failed. Okay. Make stream helper. Yeah, that's a good idea. Although he's got to provide everything, doesn't he? They're all sample. I guess they don't. We don't care about that. So let's do that. Private var make stream. Amount is money. Well, let's make it int and make it a little easier on ourselves. Start date of month number and end date of month number. And if anybody makes a null one, we'll deal with it. Okay. I don't know. There's quite a few creators among there. Okay, so this, and for now, we'll just call this. I don't know what I'm doing on my keyboard today. Hold on. Okay. First, last. Subdot amount. Returns money. Oh, month number. Um, Constant set. Oh, returns. Yeah. Why is that ambiguous? Ambiguous for type lookup in this context. I don't know. If I get rid of all those, is it going to make it happier? Make stream. Right. So this helper was one of those patterns from James Shore's Nullables suite of patterns. Okay. Make stream last of nil. No, unfortunately, I just started this big change. Maybe if I just turn off the tests. Let's see if that will let us. Looks like it might run it without it. Okay, yeah, you'll get a quick look here. Well, not so quick as it starts up. All right. So what we're doing is we're saying you have streams of money coming in, or else you have scenarios about them. So let's start with a salary, and we'll give you 10,000 a month. Nice, right? All right, and then we'll add some expenses. There, 8. Make it 8,000. So you save a little expense, and then add scenarios. Well, we'll see. We'll start one in a second here. So the scenarios, I'm going to say Social Security, and we'll take, I'm just going to do a couple because we're already out of time. Let's see, I get 1,000 a month starting in month 12. Income 1,000 a month. Okay, create. All right. So now you can see I was going up a little bit, but in month 12, I'm starting to swoop up. All right, and let's make SS 67. Maybe it's 2,000, but I have to wait 50 more months. So 50 plus 12 is 62. Okay, and we'll create that. So now I get two rules or two possibilities. The slower growing one, this is the delayed retirement, and by month 100, which is about 10 years, so about age 75, 77, I'm making more money from from the lack of money for several years, but the higher amount catches me up. And then I can build more scenarios, and I guess I'll try. Oh, sorry. We could put more scenarios in and we'd get more graphs out as we grow. So if I put in 3 more scenarios for my wife, I'm going to have 2 times 3 graphs, and all will be going like that. All right. Well, we are out of time today. So we'll pick up tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 Eastern or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. And well, I think we've proven that we fixed the code in terms of the domain side, but we haven't done the tests yet. So we'll go ahead and finish those tests. Tooks, nice to see you back. And Viv, if you're still there, Mudshark, I appreciate your help too. So thanks all, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.